to the continued quest for lifelong learning. Congratulations to our 2024 Ulysses winner. Abby Smelling kindly wrote the introduction for me to present for the Blesoffs. Dorie Blesoff. Dorie is being honored with our Ulyssean Award this evening for what she believes through her lifelong learning. In her words, that in the growth process, changing and learning are interdependent, and creativity weds imagination to intention to enable possibilities to come alive. She has exemplified this as a human relations leader, change consultant, executive coach, retreat facilitator, Northwestern University faculty, and an original singer-songwriter. On her website are her lyrics to her song, This Day, which reflect her worldview. This day, my child, marks a journey you've begun. Your whole life waits to be known. May you grow in strength and wisdom, in compassion and in love. May you walk in the ways of shalom, peace. Dorie has been interviewed on NPR, WGN, different podcasts, as well as involved in green activities and other award-winning work. She continues to be active in our community, and we are so fortunate to be able to honor her this evening with the Ulyssean Award. Thank you, Dorie.
Okay.
Wow.
You know what? Would it be
You go-
okay if Marc
Marc can
gets
come up with
introduced?
you.
We kind of did this like a little duo thing.
Okay, well then let me read a little bit of an intro from
That
Marc.
would be helpful, thank you.
You're welcome.
Otherwise it blows our whole
Nobody
rehearsal.
Okay. So now Marc Blesoff is receiving our Ulyssean Award this evening as a lifelong activist who continues the quest for learning and contributing to our community. Marc was a criminal defense attorney for 35 years, but he also has 2 certificates from the USC Leonard Davis School of Gerontology. A few years ago, he began facilitating conscious aging work groups. He is a founding member of Courageous, which defines itself as a group of activists and thinkers trying to understand and change our culture's outlook, policies, and fears about aging and dying. We also know him for his long-standing conscious aging column in Wednesday Journal's Viewpoint, which has helped our community tune into their concerns and important issues about aging, as well as connect readers to a variety of supportive activities in our area. Most recently, he has encouraged us all to come to the 19th Century Club in Oak Park on Wednesday, October 9th, to help celebrate Ageism Awareness Day. It is with these and many other lifelong efforts to broaden our social, educational, and cultural horizons that we honor Marc tonight with our Ulyssean Award. Thank you, Marc. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Georgia.
Yes, thanks.
Ready?
Yeah.
It is a little bit of feedback, so I think we can stand back a little bit. But anyway, thank you for this honor, Georgia and everyone, and for giving us a moment to thank the community that we've been involved in for almost 40 years. With your support, our family is still growing up here. We want to specifically thank teachers and principals and counselors and therapists,
Coaches and players,
clergy and congregations,
medical professionals,
neighbors on 3 blocks,
workout gyms and trainers,
Brookdale team for my mother's 5 years here,
village trustees and staff,
fellow gardeners, Sandy, Andy, there you are.
farmers markets, and grocery stores with healthy food.
And the myriad of fine people and organizations whose lives have touched us. Thank you so much, all of you.
So, this feedback, huh?
Yeah.
Let me-
Can you all hear us if we stand back here?
Okay,
Good.
good. Well, when I retired from the Cook County Public Defender's Office about 14 years ago, after 20 years, I guess, I became intrigued with the whole idea of aging with intention, of consciously embracing the last third of life.
Okay, excuse me 1 second. When Marc says he got intrigued with it, what he means is that when we would go to social gatherings, within the first 5 minutes, he would be in a deep conversation with someone about death and dying. It was like a mobile death cafe that no one would into. So, go ahead. Intrigued, go ahead.
So I remember one contradiction that caught my interest. Most of us agree that aging and dying are inevitable, right? Most can agree on that. And many of us fear and deny aging and dying. I think some people could shake their heads. So we fear and deny what's inevitable. Well, what's up with that? And that really intrigued me and kind of opened the door. Some of you might have noticed that in my biography in the pamphlet for tonight's program, there was a list of things that I've done in my life. What's not included is mention of my amazing wife and life partner, Dorie, of my 3 amazing grown offspring, Jameen and Mara and Evan, and Jameen and Mara are here tonight, and my amazing growing granddaughter, Athena. So these most important people in my life are the key to my lifelong learning. I find my attention now turning more towards ways of being in my life. I find myself sometimes an awkward student, an error-prone rookie, a fumbling beginner. I wanted to recognize these most important people in person here tonight, not just listing them in my written bio. A human doing versus a human being. As we age, what we think is really important changes. I'm learning that what really matters is not what we've done, but how we are. Our relationships, and that is where I find myself most challenged and most rewarded. Another reason I'm learning is because of living in an intergenerational household with my daughter and granddaughter. I'm learning about the importance of listening. As I listen to another person, often I catch myself nodding my head before they finished, thinking about what I'm going to say as soon as they stop talking. I'm starting to learn that being still, allowing expression of feelings, and simply acknowledging what I hear is one of the most loving acts I can offer. I'm learning about the platinum rule. You've all heard of the golden rule, right? Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. So who can argue with that? The platinum rule, popularized by Dr. Tony Alessandra and Dr. Michael J. O'Connor in 1998, states, do unto others as they would have you do unto them. As they would have you do unto them. And that helps me learn about humility. In her 2006 book titled Mindset, The New Psychology of Success, Carol Dweck talks about fixed mindset and growth mindset. A fixed mindset sees mistakes as failure. A growth mindset sees mistakes as opportunity. I was raised with a fixed mindset. As I age, I'm now less afraid of making mistakes. Aging with intention gives us the opportunity to get closer to being the person we'd like to be. That presupposes we have some idea about who that person is. And I've been learning about that with the help of my family. So I want to say thank you to Senior Citizens Center of Oak Park River Forest for this Ulyssean Award. And thank you to my family and friends for being patient and helping me find who I am and who I'd like to be. Dorie.
So the other day, our family was working on a backyard garden project. I had just put together a particularly difficult piece of fencing, which is supposed to keep out the rabbits and our new puppy. Supposed to. And I was just taking a break, standing there kind of smiling a little bit, and our oldest, Jameen, noticed me and was curious and asked me, "Why are you smiling?" And I said, "I'm kind of proud of myself." And then she looked across the yard, and Marc was sitting at the picnic table, also kind of smiling, and she curiously said, "Why are you smiling?" And he nodded in my direction, and he said, "She's all the ages she's ever been." Which turns out is a quote from Madeleine L'Engle, which we had to look up. But you know what? In that moment, I felt like it was true. I felt like I was the proud 3-year-old saying, "Mommy, Mommy, I did it myself. Look at me." Or the 13-year-old surviving the first day of a new school in a new town with a new homemade dress. Or a 42-year-old working mother of 3, appreciating the uniqueness, intelligence, and compassion of those 3. A 60-year-old human resources leader attempting to influence and create a healthy soil of culture for a startup. And a 71-year-old grandmother experiencing the beauty of the bountiful and resilient piece of earth we have the privilege to steward. Lifelong learning is something I love. I love that this award is about lifelong learning. It's something I've embraced my whole life, and interestingly enough, is something I'm still learning about. Did you know that our brain is not a finite resource which decreases in capacity as we age? No, no, no. We have continued neuroplasticity in our brain, which allows it to keep growing and keep changing by forming new neural connections and rewiring existing pathways. I find this very hopeful for us individually, and because I think in society we need substantial new neural connections and new pathways to build inclusive, welcoming, equitable, and creative social institutions, as is the continued aspiration of many of us in this room. This year, one of my New Year's resolutions this year was kind of a big one. To let go of the past as my main frame of reference, to shift being more present in the moment and be open to what's emerging and what's possible. I practice this every day, often with the assistance of my wise and loving offspring, who offer valuable reflections on the person I was when I parented them and who I am today, as well as good friends whose radical candor and unconditional support keep me growing. I think one of the hardest parts of lifelong learning is the number of times we have to let go of the way we have identified ourselves in the past and be open to the next version, kind of like Marc is talking about, the next version, who we are becoming. Because beginning and ending any major relationships to other people, to work, to our mental and physical abilities, they all require us to adjust our picture of who we've been and who we're becoming. It's not easy. It's not easy. And yet it's central to learning and unlearning and relearning. So one of my new projects is genealogy, exploring my roots. Who were my white Anglo-Saxon Protestant ancestors? Where did they come from in Europe? Why did they come? When did they come? What harm did they endure? What harm did they cause? I've been paying particular attention to the women who get hidden. Their stories often get hidden along with their names. Among other things, delightful things and unusual things that I didn't know, I've also learned some disturbing facts about my English ancestors who were enslavers, who participated directly in the genocide of Native Americans. I had Scottish and Swiss ancestors who came in the mid-1800s as farmers fleeing famine in Europe, who claimed government-granted lands, which had been stolen from indigenous people who lived there thousands of years. So now I'm discovering that lifelong learning involves seeing our lives in the context of those who came before us, all of what they went through. Generational healing of inherited generational trauma is a gift we can claim if we have the courage, commitment, and collective support to do so. I also think lifelong learning involves welcoming the wisdom of the little ones, the younger ones, who see things clearly and honestly as long as we let them. I'll never forget when my granddaughter, probably about 6 at the time, saw my tears one day. I was feeling very strong emotions about the fact I was going to retire from my job. She asked, "Bubby, do you feel sad, nervous, excited?" I said, "Yes." "Yes." She said, "I know. That's how I felt when I left Montessori and went to 1st grade." So, may we all welcome the learning, unlearning, relearning that comes from letting go, from being open to what we are becoming and what others are teaching us, remembering we're not alone in our range of feelings, of our situations, that we can all develop new neural connections. And may we continue to be grateful for the gift of being alive and being able to learn another day. Thank you. This is very special and very beautiful. Thank you. I don't know if we're supposed to, I don't know about these photo op things.